Alright guys, so before I start this, I just want to let you guys know that this is the first time I'm doing a video like this. So if there's anything I could do to make it better or just more enjoyable to watch, just let me know. Also, English is not my first language, so don't rush in the comments and say, oh, learn how to speak proper English or things like this. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. So the first thing I want to show is that I'm a console main tank player. For the past 3 seasons, I've been mainly playing Reinhardt and I've been able to stay in High Master for the whole time. So it shows that I kinda know how to play Reinhardt. Everything I will show in this video are things that I use in almost every single match. So let's start it. First thing I want to talk about is your positioning. So when you're holding your shield, you want to play near a cover or a corner so that if you need to charge your shield, you can quickly hide and take almost no damage. Compared to if you're standing in the open like that, you will have to run to cover to charge your shield and be way more likely to take a lot more damage. Ryan's low. Got it. The second thing you need to know is to manage your shield. The main reason you play Ryan is for the shield. You don't want it to break. If your shield ever breaks, your team will be at a big disadvantage. I personally start dropping my shield when it's at like 1000 health so that I can reduce the amount of damage it takes. But when it reaches 500 health, I'm almost not using my shield at all, except if I need to block an ult with it. I would just back out while doing shield hopping, which brings me to my next tip, the shield hopping. If you and your team need to retreat or just back out a little bit, you don't want to back while holding your shield because you'll be very slow. You want to shield hop. So that way, you will keep the momentum of your walk speed while holding your shield. To do so, you simply have to walk, then jump, then activate your shield, deactivate it, then repeat. It's very simple, you just gotta get used to it. Crossfire, bitch! Alright, so now that we went over the shield, we'll go over the swing. So the first thing you guys need to know is that you can animation cancel your swing with any ability, but the most useful way to use it is with a FIRESTRIKE, because it recovers faster than doing 2 swings and does more damage. So the way you do this is, as soon as you hit, you just throw a FIRESTRIKE. It's that simple. Blocked it. Alright, the next thing is that your swing starts from the right and goes to the left. So that means the hitbox is active for more time on the left side. So if you can't hit an enemy with a normal swing like this one, try turning your camera to the right so that the end of your swing could maybe hit him. So this is an example of me using both of those tips. First I look to the right, then cancel my swing into a FIRESTRIKE, then cancel another swing into a charge. That I missed, yeah. The last thing is that your swing is also a CC. It can move people around, especially if they are in the air, just like this one right there. When I'm swinging at him, he's getting booped pretty far forward. So now that we're done with the swing, we'll go over the FIRESTRIKE. So the FIRESTRIKE is actually smaller than you guys think. It can fit through any single gap that your reticle can fit in. The hitbox of the FIRESTRIKE is actually pretty big, so it can also hit people that you can't even see, just like this Roadhog right there. Alright, there's not a lot of things to say about the FIRESTRIKE, except that it is your main tool to build your ult with, and even if you have your Shatter, you don't want to stop throwing FIRESTRIKes, otherwise the enemy Reinhardt will know that you have your Shatter. You want to keep either throwing your FIRESTRIKE at his shield to damage it, or just throw it slightly above everyone's head so that you can bait abilities like Zarya's Bubbles or Genji Deflects. Alright, now I will talk about the charge. There are not a lot of things to say about it, but there are still a bunch of tricks that you should definitely know about. The first one being hold the jump button while you're charging. So you will keep the momentum for like half a second after you charge. It's mainly used for when you're coming back from spawn. Then if Reinhardt tries to charge at your team and you want to counter charge him, I would suggest jumping back right before hitting him, so that you will be more in the middle of your team, so more likely being able to punish him. I also want to let you guys know that you can counter charge a Reinhardt from the side. So let's say he ends up shadowing your team and you're not there and he's about to charge one of your teammates, you can charge from the side to counter charge him and save your teammate. One last thing about the charge, don't charge at a Reinhardt that has his shatter except if he's really close to you. Don't do like me. I knew it, I'm so retarded. I'm sorry guys. Now the last thing that I will talk about is how to hit your shatters and how to block the enemy shatter. Now you might be like, oh, it's very simple, just keep your shield up. No, it's way more complicated than this. You can make the enemy Reinhardt believe that he's going to shatter your team, but you're ready for it. Because remember, if you don't block the shatter, you might lose the team fight. The first thing about shatter is don't waste it if it's not necessary. Reinhardt's ultimate is game changing. Just by hitting a 3 or 4 man shatter in the start of the fight, it can make you win the whole fight. So as you guys can see in this gameplay, I had my shatter during the whole fight, decided not to waste it, because I still have a minute and 30 seconds to get the last point. And since I didn't waste it, I could use it in the next fight, so make us win the game. Now how to properly hit your shatter. Stop going for the huge 6-man shatter, you don't need it, and it's almost never going to happen. In that clip, I went for a 1 target, the Moira in Coalescence, and we ended up winning the fight. I'm not saying that we won the fight because I've hit her. I'm saying you don't need a 6-man shatter to win the fight. Sometimes 1 or 2 important targets will be more than enough to win a fight. In that clip, I went for a 2-man shatter, and we ended up winning the fight again. I didn't need more. One last thing not to do, don't base your shatter around a guess. If the enemy Reinhardt doesn't have any reason to drop his shield, don't try to shatter because you think he's going to drop it like this one. Alright, now how to hit your shatter. This is a Rein versus Rein situation. There are multiple ways to hit your shatter. You can either speed boost past his shield and then just shatter his whole team. You can use a stun to stun the enemy Rein and shatter at the same time. You can force a shield break, throw a diva bomb behind the enemy Rein and shatter at the same time. EMP shatter, there are a lot of ways to hit your shatter. You can also just hide and go for a sneaky shatter like this one in that clip. Also, there are a lot of Symmetra players nowadays, so you can try to use their teleporter to position yourself behind the enemy team and get a huge shatter. Also try to let them know that this is what you're looking for, but anyways, most of the time they don't even join the team chat, huh? Most of the time, Reinhardt will drop his shield to go aggressive if they are using an ultimate like a Diva Bomb or a Grafton Surge. Like in this clip right there, he expected me to turn around to block the Diva Bomb, so he decided to charge in. I read that, and I shattered him because he actually had a reason to drop his shield. One last thing about the shatter is if you hit multiple targets, you don't want to charge in. You want to start walking forward, swinging and fire striking. It will deal way more damage and the charge will push them all over the place, which is not what you want. The only reasons you would want to charge after your shatter is either to take one person out of the fight or to push them away from the objective so they don't get the overtime like this. Now I'll show different moments when the enemy Reinhardt would use his shatter. One of them would be when you use a Grafton Surge. Whether or not he's in the grav, he's probably going to shatter, like in those 2 clips right there. In this one, my Zarya hits both their support with her grav, so I'm going to walk forward while swinging the air to make the enemy Rein believe that I'm going to kill his supports, but I'm still ready for his shatter. In this one, we hit a 2-man grav again, and I know that their Reinhardt doesn't want us to kill his whole team, so he's going to shatter, so I'm just walking forward while holding my shield. Same thing with this one, I'm going to drop my shield to make him believe that he can shatter my team. Blocked it! Where the fuck is he? Another way to make him believe that he can shatter your team is deactivate your shield, turn around for like 0.5 seconds to make him believe that you're going to run away. But then do a 180 and reactivate your shield like this.
Red Dot, you're trash. I baited your ass, you're trash.
Something I see a lot of Reinhardt doing is when the enemy team uses a Diva Bomb, the Reinhardt would just keep looking at the bomb during the whole time with his shield up. But to block it, you just need to hold your shield at the last second. You don't need to look at it during the whole time. Like this, I'd rather run away and then activate my shield at the last second than just look at it and getting killed by the enemy team. Don't be scared to solo shatter things like a Genji Nano Blade, otherwise he could kill your entire team. If the enemy Ryan has a shatter, don't start swinging without thinking, cause maybe he's just waiting for the moment you drop your shield to shatter you. Also, do not fire strike. Only do those things if he decides to fire strike, cause he can't cancel it into a shatter. Alright, well, I think I went over the most important things about Reinhardt. I know there are still a lot of things to say, but if I kept going it would end up being like 30 minutes, which is not what I want because I already feel like the video is way too long. So what I would suggest doing is implement some of this stuff into your gameplay and then come back later to implement more stuff. Alright, so I hope this video helped you in becoming a better Reinhardt player. If you have any question or comments, feedback, just leave it in the comment section below. I'm answering every single comment. And you can come on my stream asking me any question. I'm streaming pretty much every night here on YouTube at like 11 PM Eastern time. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this and see you guys next time. Alright, ciao.